Don't be so, don't be so,
Hey Reese, you still there?
don't be so, don't be so, don't be so, don't be so.
Hello, YouTube world. Thanks for checking in the Khaliis tape. Your first time to the channel, please like, subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell. Please hit that so you can get the newest content first, and you can get the bonus videos and the bonus coverage I put out on weekends. Like now, we drop a video every day, so you're not gonna miss any content here. So let's just go ahead and get right into this. You know, the Clippers survive. The Clippers found a way. And that's exactly what matters. That's the only thing that matters. The fact that, you know, going into this game, all that was being talked about them, all the slander, the negativity, everything like that. It's like the Clippers bottled that up and they went out there and found a way to get it done. And they're gonna have to do the same thing in Game 7. You're gonna have to just find a way. I don't think the game's gonna be pretty by any stretch. There's gonna be stretches where both teams, lag on offense, but at the same time, you're gonna have to just find a way to win. First of all, like I said in my last night's video, I definitely want to give a shout out to Kawhi Leonard, man. That dude is awesome. That dude is a great player. That dude is an elite player for a reason. I said before, I'll say it again. He's top two, top three player in the world when healthy. And now that LeBron's getting older, him being the best player in the world, it might be debatable going forward. We'll just see how it shapes out. But if he can get past this series with the Clippers, this will be a defining moment for the Clippers. They went through a lot of adversity in this first round, and a lot of the analysts and a lot of media people out there was naysayers in regards to the team. They were saying a lot of bad things. Especially, when you listen to the ESPN first takes and, other shows, you hear people just, come at the Clippers the wrong way. And it's been like this way, for a long time now, especially since last year, especially, it's been this way the whole time. Everybody feel like they're so right about the Clippers and everybody wants to write the Clippers off, and, I definitely can see why teams, take that, why, analysts and stuff take that approach because there are times where the Clippers don't play to their ability. There's times where the Clippers will let teams off the hook by playing lackadaisical on defense. There's times where they're just the better team and they're supposed to win, but they just don't find a way to get it done. So I understand what you know the analysts and stuff. I understand why they say what they say about the Clippers, but it's wrong. It's very wrong what you're saying about them because they have the talent. The Clippers do have the talent to win championship. They do have, you know, the type of leader in Kawhi Leonard to win a championship. A lot of people, Kawhi gets a lot of slander, and I never understood why. Because he's such a great player. He's always been that. And he's always shown he's probably one of, if not arguably, the best playoff performer we've ever seen. Because when the playoffs come, Kawhi Leonard has always been a different animal in the playoffs. Always has been, probably always will be. So this is the reason why he's got the best winning percentage in playoff history. I mean, he's just a winner, you know what I'm saying? And, I know this series is not over here, but for him to go out there and put the clamps down on Luka like he did last night and find a way to win last night's game on his 45-point performance, along with locking Luca up some. I mean, that was really, really impressive. That was overly impressive. And I think that was just his way of reminding everybody, you know, Luca's not the best player in this series. Luca has had the better team in this series. Luca has had the better coach in this series in a lot of games because Ty Lue, you know, he started making adjustments, but, Rick Carlisle counteracted with some adjustments of his own. And the fact that Dallas was up 3-2 in your house, you gotta win that game because anything can happen in the game seven. Either team could win. It's, winner take all. Of course, game seven is always up in the air. You never know who's going to win those. But my point is, I'm just saying, from a logical standpoint, when you're up 3-2 in your house in Dallas, you got to seal the deal. Because if you give a team life, you're giving them momentum going into the next game. And I personally, I don't know how this series is going to end because nobody has won a home game in this series, which is unreal to me. But if I'm gonna say the Clippers be the first to break that, what I'm saying, break that curse, in this series. I'm gonna say the Clippers are gonna win the home game in this series, and I say it's gonna be a close one. Um, if the Clippers win, I say it's probably gonna be maybe 110 to 106, something like that. It's going to be a close one. Um, but I do think the Clippers can find a way to win at home, especially if Kawhi Leonard's going to play like that. I mean, the way he put the team on his back last night and just went out there and just took over the damn game was amazing to watch. That was Jordan, Kobe-esque. That was the Mamba mentality we saw on display. And I've said before, that was one of Kobe Bryant's favorite people in regards to Kawhi Leonard. And, Kobe would definitely be proud of what he saw in Kawhi Leonard last night, pulling out that Mamba mentality, what I'm saying, and put it on full display. He really would. And, I've said before, you know, Kobe, Kobe liked Kawhi Leonard. Kobe has worked with Kawhi Leonard. And I tell you, if Kobe was still alive, working with Kawhi now on his game, sharpening up his skills more, Kawhi would be the best player in the league, hands down. It wouldn't even be debatable because I mean, what Kawhi has already learned from Kobe, the short time or the time that Kobe was, around to, help train him and stuff like that. I mean, it shows, and it shows the reason why Kobe loved Kawhi Leonard because he sees a lot of himself. He saw a lot of himself in Kawhi Leonard, the killer mentality, the going at teams at a certain way, playing defense on one end, dropping 30 plus points on the other end, and hitting that mid range dagger. And that's what Kobe thrived off of, that mid range. That's what Mike thrived off of, that mid range. That mid range of Kawhi Leonard is deadly, and it always has been. And sometimes I just wonder, like in games, why he doesn't use it as much as he used to. Because I think that would get him over the hump sometime when they're playing zone defense, when you're not getting your foul calls, or when you think, going to the basket, being aggressive, of course, is always good. I'm not going to ever say it's a bad thing. It's always good to go to be aggressive and get to the line if you can. But, if it's one of those games where, they're playing zone defense and, well, how should I say, if they're playing zone defense and they're not giving you that lane to the basket, that's where I think Kawhi Leonard's mid range would be so impactful in a game. And I think, he has to go, he has to revert back to using his go-to move. It's your go-to move for a reason. I mean, it won Jordan 6 championships. It won Kobe 5 championships. You see what I'm saying? So breaking a defense down with that mid range in the zone when a defense is playing the zone package, it really breaks a defense down. It really puts them on their heels, and it really makes them rethink the strategy of how to guard you, while your mindset is to go out there and dominate, but also facilitate. And see, that's why I think, and that's what, Kawhi has the mindset of. He had the mindset of going in there, dominating, getting his mid range to be his bread and butter. What I'm saying, this game, because that is his bread and butter. But what I'm saying is, like, the fact that he had the mindset to go in there and use his mid range to kill this team and their will, and the zone defense they were playing was unbelievable because that is his go to move. And I always said he should go to that a lot more in games just to start dominating, take over offensively. And I've seen, even though, you look at last night's game, he's had other games in this series where he had 41, he's had 30 plus points, but last night's game looked like him in Toronto. I don't know. It just like the other, like you look at the other game where he scored 41 points and the 33 and all the other games. Right, he put up big numbers and he looked good and everything like that. But last night looked like he turned into God mode. Last night he looked like a basketball god out there. Last night he put the team on his back and did whatever he wanted to do. Last night he was in his bag for real. I mean, what I'm saying, there's really no other way to look at it. Kawhi was definitely in his bag last night, with the step backs, the step back three in Luka's face, the step back on Finney Smith, or the move he put on Tim Hardaway. I mean, the step back fadeaway, mid range jumper looking like Jordan. I mean, it's like I said, it's almost like when Kawhi really wants to showcase to the world how great he is, he can just do that. And I feel like he should do that a lot more often with this team. But I mean, I understand, the reason why he doesn't do it as much because he's not on Toronto. He's supposed to be on a team where he has a second superstar in Paul George, where he doesn't have to take over God mode, the way he did last night. Because last night just looks like him on Toronto. You could have put a Toronto jersey on Kawhi Leonard last night, and it would have been just fine because that's exactly who he looked like. But I'm super glad that he, came out aggressive, especially in that second half. But, to be honest with you, like he said, he came to the game with the mindset of defense. And that's exactly what the Clippers need to do as a team, as a unit. Come there with the mindset of the defense. If you're ready, if you're there to lock people up, if you're there to shut down an offense, then do that. Because honestly, if you could hold the Dallas Mavericks to 105, 106 points, maybe, or somewhere in the 100, lower 90s, high 90s range, you're probably going to win next game if you can do that. And it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy to do that because, I mean, Luka's going to come out firing. And for some reason, this series, everybody plays better on the road than they do at home. So I'm really not understanding that still. But I do think the Clippers can break that this next game, Game 7 for everything. Kawhi Leonard's been in Game 7s before, so I definitely expect him to come out and be ready. And hopefully, his crime partner PG is with him, and hopefully the rest of the crew is with him because, like I said, if they shut this team down defensively, you know, they'll definitely win. And what I mean by that is the Finney Smiths, he doesn't need to get off the way he was getting off last night. And that third quarter, he was, I think it was the second or third quarter, Finney Smith was, starting to hit some big shots. And you want to neutralize people like that. Tim Hardaway is becoming like really, really deadly with his jumper. So, which is no surprise because his dad was a great shooter too. But you got to try to limit the Tim Hardaways and the other guys and limit Luka as much as you can. And if they can mimic what they did last night, but just be a little bit more precise offensively, they'll be great. Now, one thing I don't like about the Clippers, I don't like the one-on-one play that they have. I know a lot of plays, a lot of times in the game, Reggie Jackson, even though, man, he played really good too. You got to give Reggie Jackson some credit. He outscored. He played better than Paul George. He really did. Reggie Jackson looked like the second best player on the team last night. But the one thing I don't like about the Clippers is what they do sometimes they go that ISO basketball. And that ISO basketball can get you beat, especially if your jumper's not falling or, you're not playing at your best and, their defense is making it tough on you to hit jump shots. And I just don't like that sometimes with the Clippers. But I mean, the Clippers' talent is so good. Sometimes you just, shake your head and be like, wow, good shot. You know what I'm saying? And move on to the next play. But I would like to see the Clippers move the ball a little bit more sometime. Sometimes the offense does get a little stagnant with them. I mean, I really don't like to see Reggie Jackson go one-on-one with anybody with a step back three. But last night his three it was wet. You know what I'm saying? It was his three was it was there, and he really kept them in the game before Kawhi Leonard got going, and he really kept them afloat, you know what I'm saying? Because Dallas looked like in the first half they were going to go on a big run. They looked like they were just going to kind of, I think they went up by like 7 or 10 or something like that. And you know, uh, you know, there again, the Clippers just battled their way back. They battled the whole time. They didn't give up on anything, and whatever speech, I heard Kawhi say that, or I think it's Ty Lue said that, Kawhi basically just, told the team, was mentoring them to a degree, just telling them like, play hard, just take it play by play, less mistakes and go out there and have fun. And, if Kawhi is doing things like that, then that's not only a great thing for him to do as far as like being the leader of the team, but to go out there and play the way he did while saying that to them really is going to give them a lot of momentum, encouragement going into Game 7 tomorrow. Because when your best player is pushing you and saying, "Hey, let's go out there and have fun and execute the plan," basically, when your best player is coming off like that, the way Ty Lue was kind of alluding to in his post game conference, that speaks loud on what type of leader Kawhi Leonard really is, and him going out there putting it on display as well. That speaks really loud. And for all the analysts and stuff that say Kawhi Leonard's not a leader, I think they're really wrong. I just think that he leads in his own type way, and I believe he shows it by example more than speaking it, but I also think he does speak to his players, and his guys in the locker room, his teammates, to try to encourage them to know that, every play counts, and let's just go out there and be ourselves and do what we usually do, and, leave it all out there on the line and let the rest, take care of itself. And I think that's the type of mentality Kawhi Leonard always has, especially listen to his interviews and stuff like that. But, shout out to PG as well in this game. He made some big shots at times too in the second half. I didn't really like the ISO ball thing, but hey, PG, when he gets going, he gets going, So he hit that big shot over Luca, mid range at the top of the key. Then he hit a three at the top of the key. I mean, he made some good plays too. I'm not gonna say he didn't. He didn't have one of his monster performance games. I expect him to play a lot better going in Game 7 though. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, really big win for the team. I mean, to go on the road and do it again, I mean, it takes a lot of energy out of you, to win all these road games. And, the Clippers found a way to do it. The Clippers, they made a way. The Clippers are going to Game 7. And I could tell you, after looking at the Lakers the other night, or should I say, was it no, the night before last year? Um, you know, a lot of people probably around the city didn't think the Clippers would be in a Game 7. A lot of people around the city probably think or thought the Clippers would lose in 6 games as well. But Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers found a way to extend it to another game to at least give themselves a chance to win. And that's all you can ask for. Extend it as long as you can. And make a run at it. Because you can beat Dallas. You can beat them. You've proven that you can beat them. You've proven that you can match everything they do. They won a couple of road games. You won a couple of road games. They won, they shot lights out in your building. You shot lights out in their building. You've proven that you could beat them. But now you just got to go home in front of your home crowd and give them something really to be happy about here in LA. Give your home crowd something to be happy about. Let them understand, make them understand that we're the Clippers, we're here, we are we are the team to beat, and next game, when you go into Game 7, you got to go out there and you got to put your imprint on the game early. I don't want to see Luca and the Dallas Mavericks, having 40 points in the first quarter and you not matching it. You got to go out there if you're going to go out there in a Game 7, the defense still needs to be the same. The mindset still needs to be the same of what happened last night, and everybody has to defend. And my mind is, I believe the Clippers could win every quarter in this game because honestly, the Clippers have the defense to slow down the Mavericks and they also have the offense to explode. So I expect, winning those first quarters in this series has really been big, for Dallas anyway on the road. So tomorrow, if I'm the Clippers, the mindset of the game is lock down on defense as much as possible and win every quarter. Don't let Dallas outscore you any quarter. Every quarter, you outscore them. If they score 30 points in the whole first quarter, you need to score 31. Every quarter, you need to win to demoralize Dallas and knock their confidence down. Because that's exactly what you want to do with a team like this, because their confidence has been so high in this series, and their confidence is still high because they're good on the road against you specifically. So I want to see Kawhi Leonard on, you know, Luca the way he has been the way he was last night, and accepting that challenge was really, really good to see. The switching they were doing, was good. I didn't think Ty Lue made any really bad, adjustments or mistakes or anything like that. I think, they played the game exactly where they were supposed to. And Kawhi Leonard and Luka was just the only thing to do, because that's the only way you're going to neutralize them. And here again, the claw, basically, I don't want to say the claw shut him down, but I would say the claw neutralized him a lot, to where there was no 40-point magic or anything like that. It was just, raw defense, giving Luka everything he can handle. And when Luka has to trust players like Willie Cauley-Stein and all those other type players, well, the impact on the game is just not the same. And, if you look at last night's game, the Clippers kept it close because they were neutralizing Luka the way they were supposed to by leaving Kawhi Leonard on him. The crazy thing was, I just didn't know how much Kawhi Leonard would have offensively guarding Luka the whole time. And fortunately for the Clippers, he had a lot of offense to give. He had a lot of gas in the tank, you know what I'm saying? And that's that's just, like I said, that's just greatness, personified. That's that boy was busting from three, you know what I'm saying? I mean he literally, he was buzzing from mid range to three. I mean, it just looked like Kawhi Leonard just couldn't miss. And it just looked like the Dallas Mavericks didn't know what to do once Kawhi Leonard hit that, that zone. You could see it in Kawhi Leonard's eyes. He wanted to win. And like he said last night in the interview, he didn't want to go home. And the way he put this team on his back this game, I expect the Clippers as a team to pay him back next game by coming out there and having his back, and now kill this team collectively. Because I think next game, all starters need to be in double figures, and they need more bench play. Because I think they only got like 4 points off the bench this game, 4 points of bench play. That's really not good, but because of what Kawhi did, it really offset it, countered that, and hopefully they get more bench play next game, because if they get the bench play with the defense, and Kawhi does what he does, PG does what he does, they have a great chance of winning the next game. Matter of fact, if they get really good bench play while the starters do their thing the way they usually, like the way they did last night with Kawhi on Luka the whole time, I mean, they might be able to blow the Mavericks out. They just might be able to. I'm thinking they might be able to blow them out by 15 or 20 if they get the bench play, and if everybody is committed and engaged on defense the way they're supposed to. I think they can blow the Mavericks out. But, like I said, Luka's gonna come swinging. Luka's gonna come with that, what I'm saying, that dangerous step back and all that. Luka's gonna come with it. Everybody knows that. So anything can happen in a game seven. But it's gonna be a hell of a game seven to watch. And I'll definitely be there watching, just like you and the rest of the world. And hey, that's my take on it. Good game, very, very, very interesting, great game last night. What I'm saying? Shout out to both teams, man. This has been probably the best series in the first round. And hey, leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about, the Clippers surviving, the Clippers finding a way. And let me know what you think about what can happen in game seven. Now, like I said, my my score for game seven, I'm going 110-106. Clippers. It's gonna be a close one, but I do think the Clippers can find a way. But hey, let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know what you think about, what we talked about today. And hey, leave it in comments and I'll engage with you like always. Cali out.